it was early Monday morning around 11:15 a.m. where the RCMP were called to a residence in the community of Blairmore, which is in the Crow's Nest Pass area of southern Alberta, southwest Alberta. Upon arriving there, they were called there by a family member who had discovered the deceased body of Terry Blanchette. Subsequent to looking into this, we learned that 2-year-old Hailey Dundar Blanchette was actually missing from the same residence. It took a little while to sort out that Hailey was in fact not with another responsible adult, and at that time is when the Amber Alert was issued. The investigation, of course, continued on from there for a few, the next few days, which leads us up to today, with a lot of circumstances around that. Originally with the Amber Alert that was issued, we also had a suspect vehicle that was seen in the area at 3:30 the previous morning. So it would have been 3:30 in the morning on Monday. That was also part of the Amber Alert that was issued, is looking for that specific vehicle. The vehicle was located the next morning, and we can now confirm with you that it is, in fact, the same vehicle that was seen near that residence. Subsequent to that, during the course of the investigation, the RCMP did make an arrest yesterday of a male suspect, and he was formally charged this morning. So Derek James Soretsky, he's a 22-year-old from the Blairmore area as well. He has since been charged with first-degree murder in relation to Terry Blanchette, which is the father to Hailey, as well as the murder of 2-year-old Hailey Dundar Blanchette.
Now, can you tell me I was going to ask you the cause of death for Hailey?
Those circumstances will not be released at this time. It's still with the medical examiner's office here, and it will be part of the evidence that will go before the court. So at this point, we wouldn't be speaking on that.
Sure. So you had mentioned in the news release that she was found in an isolated area away from town. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was in a rural area. Not necessarily was it isolated, but in a rural area about 7 kilometers from the town site.
Okay. All right. Please go ahead.
I just want to make you aware that Mr. Soretsky was also charged for 1 count of indignity to a body in relation to Hailey's death as well. Mr. Soretsky will be attending court in a neighboring community of Lethbridge, Alberta, and at that time, which will be September the 23rd at 9 in the morning.
Could you please explain what indignity to a body means for those of us down here in the States?
It can mean a number of things, but just to sort of simplify it, it basically is if someone is deceased and you were to touch the body or you were to move a body, that would be part of that charge.
Okay.
As to what the grounds are for laying this charge on this particular case, I'm not certain of all the details with respect to that, but indignity to a body can mean a number of things in relation to the Canadian law.
Certainly. So now I understand that Canada does not have the death penalty. With first-degree murder, then would it be a maximum life in prison without parole? Is that what we're looking at for this man?
That is something that we leave to our provincial court judges to decide on that. There's a varying degree of sentences that could be issued in this case. Certainly life could be one of those. But as to what this particular individual may get as a sentence upon conviction, I wouldn't be able to speak to.
Surely. Would you happen to have the correct spelling of the suspect's name that you could relate to me?
Absolutely. Derek, D-E-R-E-K. Middle name is James, J-A-M-E-S. And Soretsky is S-A-R-E-T-Z-K-Y.
All right. All right, thank you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with me that I could let our listeners know about? Because they're very intensely interested in this case.
Obviously, this is a tragic event, and particularly in a small community such as this, we have certainly sent our condolences out to the family and have thanked the public and the media immensely for being able to get this story out to help this come to a resolution quickly for the family's sake.
Now, where was the mother during all of this? I had heard that she was in a different location and rushed back once she heard things were happening there.
I don't actually know the answer to your question, Peter. I know I have heard the same thing, although I haven't been able to confirm that with the investigators. There was obviously more pressing things to be speaking about. There's a lot of things that were reported in the media or on social media from other individuals. Obviously, we don't have any way to monitor nor control any of that. My understanding is that she may not have been in the Blairmore area at the time. However, we did make efforts to locate her, very quickly upon realizing that Hailey had been reportedly at that same residence that evening.
Right. Now, were the husband and wife estranged? Were they divorced, or is that? And do you happen to know?
My understanding is that they were not living in the same home, but as to what process they were in terms of that marriage negotiation, I do not know.